Hey there guys, Alex here from SPP, and in today's video I'm going to be walking you through how to set up and configure your very own SPP workspace when you're running a webcare/hosting agency. Let's get into it. Alright, before we get into setting it up, you may be wondering, why should I be setting up a portal to begin with? And my answer for this question is quite simple. Now you may be scrambling with a bunch of different software to make sure that you're getting in touch with your clients on time, allowing them to pay easily, and interacting with them back and forth, as well as managing all of your projects on a different project management software. SPP takes all of this and puts it into one nice simple package that contains all the features that you may need to run your business with ease. Setting up a WordPress care or a web care agency in general on SPP is quite simple and straightforward. I've created a nice little demo workspace here in around 20 minutes before recording this video to walk you through the things that you should be setting up and to show you a few examples of how you could be running things. Let's get into it. First of all, we'll navigate into services from here, and we can see the types of services that I've created and their categories. So I've created both monthly care services as well as annual care services that your clients can purchase at a discounted price. I've also created a couple of add-ons that your client can choose to purchase via the order form, which we'll look into in a little bit. Any of these services that we navigate into is going to look very similar to the others. However, they're going to have different pricing as well as different features based on what plan they are. If we go into here, you can see that I've created this very simple basic care plan where you get daily backups, diligent security monitoring, regular database management, monthly reports, and backup restoration in case of any kinds of emergency. Now here, I've set this up as a recurring service that charges $70 a month and reopens the order. So let's say your client purchases this service, you're done with the work for the month, you close down the order, client payment comes through next month and reopens the order in case you need to redo anything else. In case you need any further information from your client, other than the stuff that you would ask on an order form, which again you'll see in a minute, you can set up an intake form that is project specific. So anytime that a client purchases something from you, they're going to be taken into this intake form so they can fill it out and provide any additional information. You can also set up tasks for your services so that whenever a client purchases a service, your admins get a nice concise list of what needs to be done. Here's an example of this. Now once setting up this service was ready, I simply went ahead into this action menu, clicked on duplicate, and created the premium version of the same service. In the premium version, I'm going to be charging $95 a month and you get everything on the basic plan plus a few more things. The rest of the service looks exactly identical to the previous one. Now, once that was ready, I went ahead and I duplicated this as well and I created the annual versions of these services. Now, these annual versions of these services are going to be 20% cheaper for your client to purchase in the long run. Once your service setup is ready and you're happy with how it looks, you're going to go into order forms and set up your very own order form. Here I've set up an example order form again that we can have a quick look at. So in this order form, I've set up all the services that we have available in all of the different variations, and I've set up a checkbox here with a rule to display the annual version of the services if the client checks this checkbox. Here I've made the order form extremely simple by only asking for the client's name and email to make checkout friction as low as possible. And here's an example of the rules that I set up here so that if you're trying to recreate it, it's quite simple. I basically made it so that if the annual checkbox is checked, to show the annual plans and hide the monthly plans at the same time. Once we're happy with this, we're going to go ahead and save, and let's go into integrations really quickly to give you a quick idea of what you can do. Now, in integrations, we have support for the Stripe and PayPal payment gateways, as well as a bunch of other integrations that you can make use of, such as Google Analytics, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Google Drive, etc., etc. So, before recording the video, I set up our Stripe as well as PayPal integration so that we have these two payment options available to us on our order form. That's really pretty much it when it comes to setting up the admin side of things at a very simple level. Let's go ahead and show you an example of how the client's view is going to look like when they're checking out. Every order form is going to have its own URL. If we click on the action menu from the right here and we click on view, we're going to be taken into the order form directly. What you're going to want to do is copy this link and link it to your buy now buttons on your website so that whenever your client clicks on buy now, they get redirected straight into this order form. I'm going to go ahead and fill in some example data and we'll check out to see exactly what the checkout flow looks like for the client. Right, so I filled in some example information here and I selected the monthly care plan as well as the add-on that we have for SSL certification and hosting. What your client can choose to do instead is to check this box and it's going to swap these out for the annual plans instead, where they can select these instead. You can also have default selections for all of these fields if you'd like, so that your client doesn't have to go through the extra step of selecting these services. So we're going to go ahead with the annual version of these plans and we're going to check out. As soon as the client clicks on complete purchase, they're going to get redirected to a thank you page while the payment processes, and after that they're going to be taken into the receipt page where there's a summary of their purchase, as well as a bunch of other information that they would need. So as you can see, this is an example of the receipt page that I was just talking about. It gives the client a bunch of information like the summary, billing address, order date, payment method, etc. Once your client is done looking at their receipt, they can click on Continue to Client Portal to get taken straight into the client portal. At that point, there are two different ways that the client can go. If there are any intake forms attached to the order, they're going to get redirected straight into the order to fill out their intake form. If there are no intake forms attached to the order, they're going to get taken to their main dashboard here. From the main dashboard, they're able to go ahead and buy more services from here, access their orders, as well as access tickets to create a new ticket whenever they need assistance. If they go into any kind of order, you can see that they're able to communicate back and forth with you very simply from here. Let me go ahead and show you what this looks like on the admin side as well. If we navigate back to the admin side and we go into orders, you're going to be able to see the order that we just created. In here, you're able to chat with your client, add more project information if you need to, and see all the relevant information about them on the right over here. Once you're ready to get working on the order, you can simply move it into the working status, and once it's done, you can go ahead and move it to complete. Now, when your client makes payment next time, the order is going to be moved back into the working status in order to let you know that there's work that needs to be done. Hopefully this has been a helpful tutorial for you to get started with SPP. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, you can navigate to spp.co/trial and set up your own trial workspace. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video, and I hope you have an awesome day.